From the 915 to H-Town, from the Panhandle Plains to the Valley, and everywhere in between, this is the 50/50 Podcast, powered by the 50/50 Podcast Network. Join me, Hector Cano, as we cover the Texas high school club and college soccer landscape, along with an inside look at the college soccer recruiting scene. The 50/50 Podcast is a platform about the people and for the people who are dedicated to the beautiful game. Here we go, and we are back, episode 144, live at beautiful Moody Gardens here in Galveston, Texas. And my next guest, she is one of our awesome vendors, right? She is the soccer account executive for PlayerData. She is Maddy Haro. Maddy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm even better to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Did I get that right? Soccer account executive?
Boom.
All right, awesome. So, hey, great energy. Excited to have you here joining us. Before we kind of start diving into all kinds of questions, to ask you, just how are things?
So good. I was able to fly into Houston. I am coming from Reno, Nevada, so it is brisk. I'm waking up. It is 34 degrees. There's snow on the mountains, and then I hop off the plane, and I know Texas,
right?
But I don't know Houston, and I don't know Galveston all that much. I've been here once.
Okay. Never been to Houston?
I've been to Houston. Yeah. Not during the times where I was like, wow, I'm in a swamp.
Yeah.
It is insanely humid.
Yeah.
So stepping off the plane, I'm in, sweats, sweatshirt. I'm layered up. Immediately, I walk out. It just hits.
Surprise.
And I'm like, here I am.
Yeah.
I'm in Texas.
Yeah. Well, this is not right now, that humidity we have with the showers that are coming through right now. This time of year here, this is normally not like this time of year.
That's what I've heard from my girlfriends, my close friends that live in Houston. Yeah, they're like, did you bring the weather? It's like, maybe.
Yeah. So Reno, what is it? The biggest little town, or what is it again?
Biggest little city, baby.
Biggest little city.
That's right.
Yeah. All
That's
right. Awesome. I have not been there. It's probably been about 35 years since I've been there. So crazy. So don't want to date myself.
No.
So all right. So hey. Again, welcome. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you. Tell us. You're here with PlayerData.
Right.
Data. How do we? Does it matter?
You know what?
Like,
English,
what do they call it? What do the people there call it?
Funny, because we started in the UK. So our CEO, this all started in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Okay. Scotland. Yeah.
So PlayerData, they say it, but I think on the U.S. side, we just say PlayerData. So, it's whoever it fancies,
Yeah, data sounds it's definitely more proper English, right?
Yes.
Right. Say it with the pinky out, I guess.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Awesome. Well, hey, so before we start diving into more of telling us about PlayerData, right? Tell us a little bit about you, the person, the background in terms of why you're clearly just well qualified to be in the position that you're in, your soccer background, your story a little bit.
Oh, kind words. Yeah. So I grew up in Southern California, played youth club soccer. So I was a Legends FC kid.
Okay. Yeah.
And had really great success there. I had even better mentors, one of which who I am so lucky to work with now in my current job. Yeah, he is the best. Yeah. Shout out Jim Wayne.
There you go.
Love him forever. So I had the privilege of working with him now. And so he was my coach, my mentor, but he also was our college coordinator. So for the club, he kind of was our plug, right?
Yeah.
So we went through the whole recruiting process, was fortunate enough to get, multiple offers and opportunities to go play places. I ended up going and playing at Washington State for my 4 years. So recruited by Kadani McAlpine, who's now the head coach at Georgia. Incredible human too. Right. And then went to go play for Todd Schulenberger, who I went to go play at Washington State for him. Yeah. And he was a Texas Tech guy. So he coached underneath Tom Stone. Yes. Yeah. So there's going to be a whole full soccer circle moment, as I'm sure it always is. But
yeah, of course. It always ends up being a small world.
Oh, right? Yeah. So it becomes even smaller. So I play there, and immediately I call up Jim Wayne again, and I say, hey, I want to get into college coaching. and I'll go anywhere. Anywhere that somebody will take me.
Yeah.
Get a phone call about 3 weeks later. He goes, pack your car up. You're driving to Denton, Texas. I'm like, where is that? I like look it up. And I get my first coaching job at Texas Women's University.
Yeah.
Mind you, naive of me, didn't even know.
Yeah. They're having a great season, by the way.
Fantastic.
They're having a great
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the kids that I coached while I was there, she's now on staff, and she's absolutely
Nice.
killing it. So
Wow.
Jasmine Navarro, she's a special
Yeah.
one.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so coached there, and then went and buzzed on over to Loyola Chicago. From Loyola Chicago, went to NC State, and was at NC State until last fall. So literally a year ago.
Yeah.
So crazy how the world works. I see Jim Wayne once again. I'm out recruiting at ECNL. I think it's Greensboro is where we were at. I see him. I'm like, what are you doing out here? I thought he kind of stepped away from the game. Fast forward, here I am now working with the same man who helped me, get through my teenage hormonal years. Poor man, golly, I still thank him for that. And my college recruiting process, and so now me and him work hand in hand.
Yeah.
So at PlayerData.
So how long have you been there on staff officially?
Yeah. So
PlayerData.
I started middle of February, I think. Yeah. And in
so you're already going for a year already.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wheels are wheels are up. We're going. Yeah.
And I got to say, I know you're hard at work because your name is like everywhere, constantly. And I mean that in a good way, like you're doing your
I'm
job.
I'm sorry.
Right? You're doing your job. So I was just like, and I know I think you had reached out to us via
I
Instagram,
badgered
I
you.
think. Yeah,
I was
a good
like,
bit.
hey,
Yeah.
I know this is a big deal.
Yeah.
I want to be in
Yeah.
on this.
Oh, well, PlayerData is, I don't know about this podcast, but thank you for being here nonetheless. So, thoughts on the convention. This is clearly your first time here, obviously, at the
Yes.
TASCO convention. Thoughts, initial, is it anything like what you kind of expected, or you weren't sure? What has it been like, the experience? Obviously, it hasn't been very long, but what has the experience been like so far?
So my colleague, Ryan Miller, so he's originally from Texas, so born and raised. He played football at Baylor.
Okay.
He knows the inside scoop of Texas, right? Texas sports. I knew this going into college soccer. So this is a hotbed, right? You always hear Texas, California, Florida, those athletes. Well, take it a step further. He had kind of said, hey, I went here last year. This is a pretty big deal. We need to put this on the calendar. And so I've been to, United Soccer Coaches myself. And when I came in here, I thought, holy smokes, there are a lot of coaches here, which I knew it was going to be a big event, and it means one of the biggest outside of United Soccer Coaches. But the turnout is fantastic. The people that we've been working with, top notch.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate enough to even have a classroom session tomorrow with a handful of people. Houston Women's Soccer, they're coming along with us. Fun fact, I used to coach with her at TWU.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Very small circle.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
but it's been awesome.
Yeah.
So far.
That's all. Tell us a little bit about that, by the way. So that's an afternoon classroom session, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what's that going to be on.
Yeah. So we were fortunate enough to get the UH women's soccer staff. So we have the assistant coach and then their sports scientist, sports performance that are going to be joining us. And then Fred Kaiser. So he is on the board of TASCO. He also coaches at John Paul II. So we have been fortunate enough to sign on the girls program. We're inching towards the boys coming on. So that's been awesome. But so we're having them all come in and basically just storytell. So tell us, as college coaches, how do you use data? Why is it important that kids in the youth programs start using something like this? And then, taking Fred's experience. And you want to talk about a researcher, you want to talk about a man who's like, I'm going to figure out what this is all about. He was thorough, which I loved, and it was fantastic. Yeah. And as you should. And so now bringing that kind of into discussion on why are we here, but why is it important? Because there's so many coaches who hear about data and hear about GPS, but they don't really know how to use it or why they should use it.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of enlighten that and bring in a lot of the storytelling.
So I kind of asked it backwards because you started talking about the classroom session tomorrow, but people hear player data, right? What should be the first most immediate thing that comes to mind before you start telling us more of the details? What should be the first thing they associate with when they see that?
Oh, wow, that's a fantastic question. There's so many things that run through my mind.
Like first thing.
Good people, good, even better product.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, it's easy. It's efficient. It's everything that I wanted to use as a college coach.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant to see it all come to life.
So we arrived to PlayerData. So give us the scoop, the inside scoop on what is it about? What's the main piece? What's the main component?
Okay. So can I tell you a tiny little backstory about this? Because this is a cool part about our company.
Yeah.
So our CEO, he was originally qualifying for the Olympics in archery. So
Okay.
So he basically wanted to create his own product to enhance, what his accuracy was going to be, his performance. Well, he ended up getting into a pretty bad car accident, so then he had to disqualify from the Olympics. Well, the man's a genius. And so he literally went on to create this program that we now call PlayerData. So this originated back in 2017.
Okay.
Now, this was in Edinburgh, in Scotland.
Yeah.
It came to the States we're coming up, I think, on 3 years, is going to be marking January.
Right.
And it has basically grown to being this tiny little company that nobody really knew about to the #1 college soccer GPS provider.
There you go.
Come on.
I like
Come
that.
on.
I like
Bring
that.
it up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, in addition to obviously you're here as a vendor at the convention, but tell us a little bit more. What can you share with us about the actual? We got it's a new proud partnership with Tasco, right? So tell us a little bit about that. What does that mean?
Gosh, I mean, one, to be here, we all know this, right? Texas is a hotbed, particularly when it comes to soccer. And we knew that. College coaches know this. There's just so much talent here, right? And if we know anything about the history of Texas sports, we know that they eat, breathe, and live it. They live the football. They live the soccer. Come on.
They do.
Come on, Texas.
Okay. Come on, more. Give us more. Give us more. Keep talking us up.
I'm like, I'll fluff it.
Keep talking. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I think even having that and now having a platform like being here and representing with Tasco, I mean, I think the best thing about us and this partnership is there are insane programs at pro, semi-pro. I mean, UNC women's soccer use us, Arizona State, Rutgers. I mean, we're hotbedding it, and I'll kind of get into that of our Texas clients too, because shout out Gibbs and shout out Ashley Gordon. Those are my people. So we have basically now created a system that is easy to use. It's all done through your phone. The way our data infrastructure is, it's painless. So it's not hours added to your day, it's minutes. And you get something that you can actually read, understand. And now, best part is that players can have the autonomy to see what they're doing. I went throughout my whole 4 years. I had no idea what I was doing.
Right.
And now kids can go and access this on their phone to see exactly what I'm doing. When are my personal bests? How fast am I running? Am I being productive? This is something where you now connect kids, their player accountability. Recruiting is super major because now we're creating a pipeline where you can share it through the app.
Yeah, I've now heard that college coaches are now requesting that data, right?
I just got off. Okay, so last weekend I was at ECNL Phoenix talking to a handful of my colleagues. There are some, I won't name drop them, there are some very big time programs who are literally now recruiting kids off of data. And that's not even to below this. They want to know.
You're saying strictly off of that?
Strictly data. They want to know, can this kid play in the ACC? Can they play in the SEC? Can they play in the Big Ten? Because you need athletes. You need very fantastic soccer players. But when we lose the ball, are we going to be able to get it back? And that's a big thing now that world of college sports, as we know it, it's changing into soonly being professional sports. But now it's, I'm not going to take a gamble on a kid that I don't know if they can keep up. So now when we see kids who are coming out, and this is a huge recruiting point for coaches, if I'm recruiting a kid and I'm in North Carolina and I'm recruiting kids in Texas, in Southern California, keeping tabs on those kids and knowing what they're doing. Are they keeping up with the pace? Can they keep up with the distance? What's their productivity yards per minute? Am I seeing the same things? Because I looked at data at NC State all the time. So I would already see what we were kind of dealing with our own kids.
Right.
So if I can measure that now with kids that I'm actively recruiting, what are we talking about?
Right. Interesting.
It brings a little clarity. It's,
Yeah.
Now I think coming into a data-driven world as we know it, but now data that kids can feel empowered by and stay on top of. Because
See, I'm kind of curious. Like, I think one of the components, one of the hidden, like, one of the byproducts of it, where I think it stands to be a great, we call it, right, being military, right, retired military, we call them force multipliers, right? One of the best things I think that I see built into this is, particularly on the women's side of the house, right, is the ACL epidemic, right, the injury there. So many studies, recent studies are bringing it back to it's derived in some way, shape, or form from fatigue, right?
Yep.
So what we can maybe measure in terms of an actual player's fatigue, I think, is a big part. And just how much of that, I guess, can PlayerData really share? Like, I know it does, but to what extent, if I'm a coach interested in measuring that, like, hey, is my kid at their absolute best, or what's going on there?
100%. So the way that I looked at it, because I always try to go back and coach's hat, right? Because I'm talking to coaches every day.
Right.
So I'm saying, okay, what are they going to understand? You know, sports performance is a whole nother jar of worms, right? But connecting to coaches in that way, that's the number one thing I would say, like, about how to utilize us. You want to talk about injury prevention. You want to talk about limiting soft tissue injuries. You want to talk about periodization. Like, am I overtraining? Am I undertraining? What are we doing for our session loads compared to trainings versus games? What's my match day -3? What's my match day -2?
Right.
Like, how are we appropriately recovering? And are we still doing enough without doing too much? And so you're able to, on our app, you're going through, you have head-to-head reports that you can run. So you can select multiple different athletes. Maybe it's a starter versus non-starter. How are we kind of competing? Freshmen coming in compared to a sophomore, right? You can also do the same thing too when you're seeing a kid. Think about this. Days before a kid maybe pulls their hamstring, right? Or goes out with a quad injury. We know that they're at their highest capacity. They're accelerating the most, decelerating the most, hitting their top speeds. If we can pull that data, say the day before that they pulled their hamstring, if we're talking about back to play protocol and saying, is this kid legitimately ready to go play TCU on Thursday night? Now, if I'm seeing this kid and I'm running a report of what they're doing in training, and they're not hitting 80% of their max speed, if they're not decelerating and accelerating like how they were prior to them getting injured, in no good faith can I put them in. And also, I'm now not guessing. I know. And that's what I think data is doing and empowering. And now with us, kids can know themselves on their own phone, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think the best part about it too is how everything I've seen so far, and obviously what I've read and the conversations I've had with people utilizing it, is how I'm not going to say it dummies it down, but it simplifies the information where I don't need a PhD to be able to decipher this information, let alone how long it takes. But it's like, okay, what is this telling me? Bottom line.
And I'm so glad that you said that, because that has been our mission statement. Our CEO, he wanted to make this a universal thing. He basically said, why can't we get everybody access to something like this? Because everybody needs it, but it shouldn't come at a ridiculous price where you're only hitting the top 2%ers. Because who's that really going to help? You still have kids trying to develop to get to that point, right? But how can we still have the top quality and not sacrifice that, but then still combat with, other competitors, have a reasonable price in a product where we flourish in accuracy? I mean, we are top-notch tested with FIFA, and compared to our competitors, I mean, we blow some numbers out of the water.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now we bring it down to the high school level, right? You got Texas high school, you got coaches, Texas high school soccer coaches across the state. And maybe they're interested, but they just, what's the next question?
Right.
How much, right? Or they see the sticker price, or what do you say? What's the elevator speech to those coaches who they see the value, they're highly interested, but then they think there's no way, or we can't afford it, or we can't do this, or we can't. What do you say? What's the elevator speech there?
Do you want my funny one that I always say, especially to parents?
Yeah.
All right, I'm talking to all the moms out there. So I always tell coaches, I go, Do your kids ever come to training maybe with like a Starbucks in hand? They'll like laugh at me. I'm like, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
Because you know they do. Yeah.
They do. I'm like,
Yeah.
we all know it was pumpkin spice whatever season,
Right.
you know. Oh, we're getting into peppermint mocha, but you
Right.
know, we're tides are turning. But
Yeah.
I always say, I'm like, do your kids show up with a Starbucks in hand? We all know, right? Lattes, Starbucks, they're going for $8 a pop. Okay.
Is that what they're at? I don't know. I actually don't have Starbucks regularly, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't either.
My daughters do. My daughters.
See?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so to your point, you buy your daughters.
Well, I don't. Mom does.
Mom
so,
does, okay.
Right. That's why I don't know.
Mom buys, let's say herself, 2 Starbucks drinks a month. She can afford this.
Okay.
So you're breaking that down, $16 a month for a kid to use it every single day for training and games and as a recruiting tool
Yeah.
and as an injury prevention tool and as a tactical tool.
Yeah.
I can kind of keep going on that. But I
Right,
think
right,
the
right.
price tag for something like that and to get the data back to your phone in minutes, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
And so
right.
when I
Yeah,
tell,
yeah.
coaches that, I'm like, let me talk to your parents.
Yeah.
I will talk to your parents right now, put them on the phone.
Yeah.
For coaches, there's so many ways, but I say this, coach's hat back on. You want to talk about bettering yourself, your program, being intentional, right? I always say stop the guessing, get to knowing. Because with this, you now can be aware of what am I intentionally doing in trainings? Am I overtraining or am I undertraining? Am I hitting what I need to? And when I'm asking these kids to do, I mean, even in our app, we have RPEs, right? So where kids can go in, fill something out on how are you feeling on the day? Did you sleep appropriately? Did you eat appropriately? How, stressful or how hard did you think that training session was? So now we're getting qualitative and quantitative data and everything is objective.
Yeah.
So now we don't have to guess.
That is awesome. Yeah. The objective is the key piece.
Yeah.
I love that. So now, thoughts on what do you even know, right? Besides the talent piece, and I get all that. Arguably, the outside of where you're from, the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth area is largely regarded maybe 1A or the second, biggest hotbed of talent in the country, right? On the women's side.
Yep.
But what do you know? What can you share with us? What are your thoughts on just Texas high school soccer in general?
Wow.
Not loaded.
No, I just,
Not loaded.
I think about so many kids that I have had the privilege to coach, to recruit. And I think that I know there is a different sense of pride when you come from Texas. I know
there
that.
is.
I know.
There is.
Hey, and I learned that
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah,
Okay. But Texas high school soccer, I think, is one where the severity of how serious they take this, you can expect that you're having kids come from top ECNL, GA teams who are all coming into this melting pot of talent stacked on top of talent. And so when you do go out and you watch these teams, I mean, I can say this for across the board sports, right? Also Texas football, being number one. So you have, I think, just this atmosphere of hyper competitive athletes and normally don't lack resources and know very quickly where they want to be. I think you have such rivalries going on.
Right.
You have your Texas Tech people, you have your, Hook 'em, you have your,
Your gig 'em.
Oh,
Yep,
you have
the Howdies. I call them the Howdies.
and the pride for all of those.
Yeah.
So I think it's ingrained at such a young age with athletes here. And soccer, I mean, it's only getting bigger. I mean, you look at the women's game even, and you see the talent that's coming at such a young age. I mean, you're seeing tides turn where it becomes, you have young kids who are now bypassing college and going right into pros, who are already having that mentality. That wasn't a thing 5 years ago. Kids going and skipping college? Who?
Yeah, you had Kennedy Fuller, who you're familiar with her, right?
Yes.
Playing for Angel City, right?
Yep.
Yeah, she's basically, I think, would have been graduating now, I think, just recently, and she's already, been playing there for 2 years,
I tried to recruit her,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But hey,
yeah.
shooters
So,
are going to shoot.
So, that's a great point, though. So, we are talking with Maddy Haro, the, I almost said it, soccer account executive for PlayerData. All right, so tell us what's going on, what's in the mix, what can you share, some additional just things that are going on with PlayerData, and then also share with us, hey, where can we get more information, websites, socials, everything, where can we get more info?
Yeah, so kind of where to start. So all of our platforms, PlayerData, find us on Instagram. Shout out Lukey Bonner. He is the man. He holds it down for us on our social media team.
There you go.
But so you can find us there, have access to our website immediately, get in touch with any one of us, and really, I think the accessibility of all of that is quite easy. I'm like, my cell phone number is no. Could you imagine?
Hey, you can if you want.
I'm like plugging myself up on this, and then I'm just
want.
getting my phone blown up. Like, hey,
I was like, don't worry, no one's listening.
No,
so yeah.
I'm like, I'll test it. But I think what to expect and things that I can kind of release a little bit here. So we are the #1 GPS provider for college athletics, which is fantastic because
that's athletics, not soccer, right? You're saying athletics.
Yeah, I mean we're getting and we are in multi sports, but soccer is our specialty. But we have football coming right at the bits. We have basketball. We have, for example, like IMG Academy. All of IMG Academy is signed on with PlayerData, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
You're now having more Power Force. So if we all know soccer here.
Right.
We know UNC, women's soccer.
Yeah.
They're proud clients of ours. We love that.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, if anybody's heard of those Tar Heels, I don't know. But and I mean, I think our hotbed here in Texas, I mean, we have UTEP, Gibbs, we have, East Texas, Ashley Gordon.
I should tell you this story about Gibbs Keaton, coach.
Oh, gosh.
About Gibbs out there. So first time he was still at Tech at the time.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
He was still at Tech. And first time I had him on the podcast, and he's in the middle. So apparently he has like this running little chat with other coaches at different colleges in the middle of our podcast, mind you. And then he just decides this like, hey, we're all in agreement on this chat that you're like the soccer Joe Rogan. And I was like, he just drops this. And that instantly became like a thing for probably the next year or two. So anyway,
that is so awesome.
And that's originally where I'm from, is El Paso.
Really?
Yeah.
Gibbs can't speak high enough about it. He tells it, I love El Paso.
Yeah.
I love El Paso.
Yeah.
I'm like, Gibbs?
I often say it's like the best, might be the best Mexican food in Texas, because it's not a traditional Tex-Mex there. That's one of the things that
I could get canceled for this, but thank goodness Tex-Mex really runs me through. Oof, I don't know. Don't come for me when I say that, but
have you been out there?
To El Paso? I drove through it. I have not stayed in El Paso.
Everybody drives
I know,
to El Paso,
right?
yeah.
I know. Like, take the 10.
It's because it's 4 hours west of nowhere. That's what I always tell people, right?
Oh
you know where nowhere is. It's 4 hours west of there. So, but no, big shout out to Coach Keaton out at UTEP. So,
yeah, but we're moving in the space. We have some really, really big news that we are going to release at United Soccer Coaches Convention. We are beyond excited. It's going to be in Philly this year, which is where our headquarters are in the U.S. So we're going to do it big. We're going to do it really big.
Yeah. I thought was it Kansas City last year? Or what am I thinking? Or Chicago last year, wasn't it?
It was Chicago last year. Kansas City, I think, the year prior.
Yeah, never mind. I was thinking KC this year. So this coming.
Philly, baby. Philly.
Gotcha. So where can we get the socials, where can we go?
Go, hey, Instagram is an easy one. Shoot, if you want to give me a follow, we have our Texas rep, Ryan Miller. He played football at Baylor, so he's the, football club, so some football plug. So, but yeah, socials, I mean, my first and last name can definitely contact me there, our team is so good with support. They are on top of it. Can get you anything that you need. So if you even DM us saying, hey, who can I get in contact with? I'm interested. Would love to have a demo. Yeah. Lukey is going to plug it up, and he's going to get you set to who you need to be taken care of.
Awesome.
So easy process.
Good deal. And as we start to wrap up here, Maddy, one of the things that we've been doing, so I promised I was going to continue it through the convention at least, is I give every guest the opportunity. I've peppered you here for almost 30 minutes with questions. Give you the opportunity, anything on your mind as it relates to the convention or game, whatever, being a coach, what have you, whatever. give you the opportunity to ask me a question. It could be about the podcast. Question. Ask me a question back. Fire away. Fire away. Floor is yours. Be gentle, please.
Oh no, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna make you see. I'm gonna ask you your favoritism in terms of give me high school, Texas high school soccer team program, and then who you think is number one in the state of Texas for women's college soccer.
So that's interesting because so the last episode that I just had, we had Rob Rush on here, right?
Okay.
Who's my counterpart. He's the men's soccer coach there at my school, right at Canyon, at New Braunfels Canyon.
Okay.
So he asked me pretty much a little bit differently, but he essentially asked me the exact same thing.
Okay.
So all right, so let me answer this correctly. So you're saying my favorite or
the best.
The best.
I want to see the best. Like, is your money on women's college soccer? Like, do we think Texas Tech is going to pull it off?
Oh, we're saying
against
college.
UNC?
We're saying college.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm asking both. I'm asking college and high school.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm missing. So the best, my prediction to win. I want to make sure I understand the question right for college.
Yep.
College, right now. I don't know. I honestly this year with college, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm like, part of me almost wants to say, and you'll love this, being a Cougar, you'll love this. Is Washington, running some sort of special gosh. Is there like something that's magical happening with Washington, giving the story of their teammate, right? Their fallen teammate, right?
I know.
So, because I think they won today. If I'm not mistaken, I think they won today.
Oh my gosh!
So this year, I honestly, like, not dodging the question.
No, I
really don't know if there's this just overwhelming favorite this year. Like I really don't know. What? It'd be easy to say something like a Stanford, right? Or something like that.
Sure.
But I honestly really that actually has crossed my mind regarding Washington this year, given just how they're kind of just
coming together,
playing out of their mind through their conference tournament, everything right now.
Yep.
I don't know. Is there something more there? Now, can they make that run all the way, or how far can they go on that run? But I feel like I'm getting the sense that there's something kind of magical happening there.
I love that. I love a little magic. Do you think Texas Tech is going to pull it off against UNC?
No. No, I don't.
I'm like, Tom, you heard it.
Hey, but I'm just saying, it's like, I think, are they going to compete? Are they going to come to play? Are they going to make life difficult? I think it kind of comes, I'm going to go like full analyst here, right?
Do it.
The longer Tech can keep it 0-0, or obviously take the lead.
Sure.
But we also know that UNC, this particular UNC squad, they can kind of score in bunches. Right. They can score fast. So
yeah.
So I don't know.
What about TCU? Do you think TCU is going to beat Memphis? Because Memphis.
I've seen Memphis as a team that I've seen play. No, they lost.
Did they?
Technically, right?
Okay.
It was a draw.
Okay.
In the American Athletic Conference semifinal to UTSA. I don't know if you saw that. That was an amazing game.
Oh yeah,
because they were
UTSA. Shout out, they're our clients too.
Yeah, Coach Pittman. So a little small tidbit for you. I'll tell you a little bit more about that that program offline. So a little cool story offline. Okay. It's a personal one. That's why. So it's a cool one.
Okay.
So the listeners have already heard it. So, give me, TCU or TCU. Memphis is fast.
Yeah. They're dangerous.
But I think the matchup, I think TCU can match up well with them.
And it's at home.
Right. That's what I was about to hit on. And they have them at home. And TCU puts out some incredible crowds.
That's what I'm saying.
I think
I played there.
Kind of the counter of what I was just saying with Tech, right, is if they can get out fast, TCU can run away with it. If Memphis kind of just hangs around long enough, Memphis will
could get a little.
Yeah, Memphis is another squad that kind of scored. Ironically, those two matchups are they match up with each other very similarly.
Yeah,
I guess So
yeah, I listen. Do you talk about atmosphere? I played at. We went down Washington State. We played TCU. I think it was my sophomore year. That crowd.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I'll predict a record attendance crowd for that one.
Oh yeah, you see Higgy? He posted it even. He was like, "All right, fans, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's the first time that we've done this,
Yeah.
and so no, it's gonna be some good games here.
Yeah. And that's and in full, I guess in Memphis defense, I really do think Memphis got jobbed by the committee to have. I mean, to fall to win the regular season title, fall in a semifinal, in a draw technically, as we know, going to penalties, and then to what were they, a 7 seed?
Yeah,
I think
or
when they were
ridiculous.
just number 3 in the country.
Ridiculous.
I don't and here they are on the road too. I just
You know what? Even more Spitfire. Come on, underdogs. Who doesn't love that story?
Right.
You got to be fired up for that.
So I think to me, I think those are two teams that are very, very even, the way they play, and both I saw both of them play at UTSA this past year, right in San Antonio, and UTSA played them both tough, matched them very differently. In UTSA, obviously, Coach Pittman had a very, very good, just incredibly organized defensively how they played. I wish I could answer that one definitively, but I don't know. This year I really don't know. But I've got my eye, and I feel like the sentimental favorite is starting to become Washington. More and more.
I know.
And more. So we'll see. We'll see. And on the high school side, I'll keep with the answer I gave Coach Rush earlier. So, in my personal opinion, just because I said I have so much respect and admiration for how they do things, their coaches, their program, their culture, is Frisco Wakeland. So I have a nickname for them. So you being a Spanish speaker, you'll appreciate this. Okay. I call them El Cucuy, right? So because they're just like I call them the Michael Myers of state tournaments, state playoffs, because they don't go away. You can't put them down. Yeah, of course, are they undefeated?
I loved that analogy.
But they just don't
they're relentless.
Year in and year out, and we're talking 14, 18-year-olds here, right? And they're just as consistent as you could possibly want to get from high school program student athletes. Yeah. And so much I feel it's attributed to that culture. So
I do have one more question for you.
Yeah.
As 2 ex-college coaches here, what's the one thing that you miss the most about that environment?
Miss the most? I feel like sometimes just I don't know. It's going to sound odd. It's going to sound bad. But, as a high school coach, sometimes you get that what makes high school soccer so great is that for some kids, like they don't have aspirations to want to go beyond that, right? And that's okay. And I feel that with college athletes, they're all high level competitors that overwhelmingly want to be there, right? That want to compete, and they're all further brought together by this desire to want, to be part of something more, right? And I feel that what I miss, I think, on the college side is that because sometimes with high school, it is what it is. You have what you have, and then it's your job to develop that, right? In college, it's like they were all prototypically, this. Every kid on that team, every kid on that field was either the best or maybe the second best or worst case, third best athlete on their respective high school club team, right? And then they're all together, right? So I don't know. I miss those bits and pieces of it, and I don't know. I just I've often been asked about how come I don't return to the college game, and it just the timing has not fallen right. It hasn't been right. I've had opportunities.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, no, of course I wouldn't.
Okay.
You know how it goes. You never say never, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's kind of one of those where I think the situation has to present itself right, and then I think the other, giant, big gorilla in the room, whatever you want to call it, is sometimes you got some people that will just not look past the fact that, they're a high school coach. So why would we be interested in them to coach college now? So it's always this, the mixed biases, I guess. Yeah. So which doesn't bother me. I could care less, but it's that's just the reality of the game itself. But the game is going through so many changes right now.
I know.
So many changes. And, and that was going to be, I guess, one of my last questions for you is all the great things that you've told us about PlayerData and what they're doing. what do you see with the great unknown that is college athletics, right?
Yeah.
We'll just say in the next 3 to 5, we'll say 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that, to the best of your knowledge, that Player Data is preparing for that, that kind of unknown of how it's going to change more and more and more?
My first thought is, if college athletics and student athletes are adapting to this new world of what it's like to be a professional athlete, because that's kind of the mentality, that's the environment that I think some of this is transitioning to.
Mm-hmm.
I think then it becomes even more of a high performance competitor mentality. And I think because now with us, you are able to see every single time what you're doing when you step out on the pitch. You're going to realize, am I hitting my standards? Yeah. And I think as we change and we see kids kind of go into, different areas of what, the Power Fours are going to be, down to Division 3, and then, even into the pros, because we're getting into the NWSL as well. Right. So, that's going to be an exciting thing too. So I think with us, I've started in middle of February. I have seen our product team and engineers come out with such brilliant technology, and I can't yet say what we have, but we have something that the world of soccer has never seen. And we are coming out with something that, is going to floor coaches across the world. This is a global thing. Yes. Wow. Yeah. Wow. It's exciting. I can't wait for it. So we're going to get.
Make sure you guys tag the podcast. Tag us. Hey, you guys got some big announcements coming up. So tag us, share it with us. We'll help you spread the word.
That would be fantastic. Yeah. I know. Come on, Texas, jump on board. Come over to the good guys.
All right.
We want you.
So we are talking with Maddy Haro, the soccer account executive for PlayerData, who's joining us here as one of the awesome vendors that we have here in the exhibit hall this weekend for the 2025 TASCO, Texas High School Soccer Coaches Convention. Maddy, this has been awesome. Really appreciate you. Great conversation. Thank you for joining us. And before we let you go, any final, I know you've given a ton of shout outs already, but if there's any left or thank yous or anything else on your mind that you want to share as it relates to our game, final word, the floor is yours.
Oh my gosh. Final thoughts as it relates to the game, man. Well, one, I want to say this. I love what you're doing. I think that
thank you. Sure.
I wrote kind of this, but keeping the game alive through conversation and through connection and keeping people in the know, that's what's going to keep this going, and like the love of the game and making it about. I love that this is centered around Texas and the pride of that, and just supporting the state and in soccer. I love the niche of that. I love where I think these athletes are going, people that pour into Texas and this game, and then now you've combined that into an awesome community. This has just been so fantastic to even be a part of. So I want to say that I love that.
Awesome, thank you.
But yeah, the people at PlayerData, that hands down, giving me a chance and letting me run wild with this has been absolutely brilliant, and just a pivot in my career that I never saw coming, but I am beyond thankful for.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So, Maddy Haro, PlayerData.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you. For all of our listeners, again, go like, rate, subscribe. Hit that, particularly YouTube. We're pushing YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. About almost our data. Our data tells us that almost 30%, I should say, of our listeners are not subscribed, even though they think they are. So go on there. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit that live bell notification. You won't miss anything, since 99% of everything we do is live. So our screw-ups, our mess-ups, everything, you get to see it all. We don't shy away from it. But thank you for listening. We're going to try to come back to you shortly with one more episode this evening, live here from Moody Gardens at the 2025 TASCO, Texas High School Soccer Coaches Convention. See you soon. You've been listening to the 50/50 Podcast, powered by the 50/50 Podcast Network. Help us continue to grow by liking, rating, and subscribing on all major podcast platforms. And don't forget to follow us on X at 50_50pod, on Instagram at 50_50 podcast, as well as on YouTube at the 50_50 podcast. Until the next time.